Yeah, good evening. I'm your host, Don Armando, and this is Open Topics with Don Armando. I usually don't do this on Sunday, but now I'm doing it. All right, so it looks like that there's a lot of topics that's going on. First and foremost, Lil Durk being arrested. And, a lot of people are having a lot of stories, but I'm not going to really comment on it because I do not know the specific details. But from what I've heard, is that allegedly that there was a guy within his camp that was actually recording all the stuff that was said. So I hope that is not true. But if it is, you know, respect to all parties that that is affected. Second part, well, it looks like that the elections is coming soon. And as you know, my stance is I'm not a fan of the Democratic Party, nor I'm a fan of the Republican Party. So I think I'm just gonna find out who else is another candidate, and I'll just give my vote to them. And let's see. So as this is open topics, we're just gonna talk about anything and everything. So this is actually a free space, and if anybody feel like that a lot of people are just hating on them or anything, you're welcome to come to my space and talk about your grievances or non-grievances, depending on what it is. Hey Jose, how you doing? So how's everything up in the Bronx so far? I was thinking about going back there, but then I might make a trip to New York in November, but depending on how I feel and everything. Nice. I mean, the topic is anything for tonight, to be honest, because it's open topics. Because I was supposed to do this on Thursday, but then I was busy, so I was like, "All right, I'm gonna do this Sunday." So let's start the week off right. So this is my thing. Hey Jose, how you doing?
Good evening, Don Armando. Thank you for allowing me on your platform.
Thank you.
So,
So,
yeah, go ahead.
how you doing so far?
Oh, I'm doing fine. Just relaxing at home. Just getting ready for another work week. Mondays and Tuesdays I work remotely, so I don't have to worry about the
Yeah, yeah. I mean, me, I guess I'm ready for another work week as well. You know,
hmm
it's
Yeah.
like,
I mean, it got yeah. I mean, it got kind of crazy here in these U2 streets the last couple of weeks.
I guess it has.
Well, you know, I mean, one thing I've said this before, and I'm going to keep saying it again. Um, First of all, anyone that's thinking about creating a YouTube channel is going to have a thick skin, okay? Because if they don't have a thick skin, they have no business being on this platform. Because you're going to have people that's going to be throwing a lot of ish your way.
I mean, yeah, but then it depends on what topics you're talking about because if you really look at it, I don't see a lot of people, when it comes to like faceless video creators and people who actually do food vlogs, I don't really see a lot of hate coming their way because they're just actually showing people, okay, what is to eat in their opinions of what they eat. But as far as when it comes to I guess political commentary or social commentary, you actually have a lot of people who will actually throw hate your way then instead of learning of what you're saying, or in other things they'll actually try to copy what you're saying. So therefore, they act like they're original.
Yeah. Yeah, well, lately I've been trying to avoid political topics in general because things get very heated very quickly. Um, because we all know that election day is a little over a week away,
Right.
and the fact of the matter is, for some crazy reason, this election is very close. And when you think about it, it shouldn't be this way, but it just gives you an idea of what how strongly people view certain individuals.
Right.
So I mean, all you can do is just educate the people with the facts, and then you let the people decide what they want to do.
I
Um,
mean, facts.
mhm, yeah,
And it's even getting into a point that you have certain people who are actually getting their jobs terminated either because of their political belief or political ill belief. Shout out to you, Jordan, by the way.
yeah. I
So
mean,
it's like to me, yeah.
yeah,
So it's like to me, right? Like I know everybody needs to talk about it, but as far as anything, I'm not pro Trump and I'm not pro Harris, and that's where I stand.
okay. Well, look, realistically speaking, people have four choices. Number one, not bother to vote, which means they don't get a chance to vote regarding local politics and things of that nature. Number one. Number two, they can write in their own name as a writing candidate. Number three, they can vote for any one of the third party candidates. Or number four, they can vote for either two of the major candidates, and things of that nature. All I've said from the beginning is if whoever you're going to support, make sure that you have a clear understanding who they are and what they want to do. And then if you wish to continue, well, that's on you.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. I mean, I already voted by mail-in ballot a week ago, so I don't have to worry about that.
Oh, yeah, I just signed up for that, so I guess when I do get in the mail-in ballot, I vote for my candidate. That's it.
Hmm. But look, in all fairness, when it comes to election for president and vice president, I mean that's determined by the electoral college.
Yo, nice hat, Joe.
Oh yeah, thank you, man.
Good evening.
Something I wear sometimes here and there as I'm doing my thing.
All right,
Yeah,
gotcha.
switch back and forth though, but yep, always like that. Oh, especially if I'm out and about working with my precious horses that you guys already see on my platform. So
Yeah,
this does
Yeah.
come very well in handy. And then also you can see I'm here on camera, which illustrates my transparency.
yeah.
Yes.
Talking about horses. I mean,
Mhm.
right? I mean, where I live at, I got like a horse stable near my neighborhood. So if anybody knows about the Black Cowboys of Philadelphia,
Mhm.
well, where I live at is the stables nearby, and you actually see people actually walking with their horses till this day.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice.
I mean, Idris Elba did a movie concerned talking about the Philadelphia Cowboys, or and I mean the black people who actually ha- have this Cowboys for, I guess it was like it goes back from generations. So they
Right.
still got their stables and everything like that. And I could actually say that I saw a funeral of one of the guys that was riding the horses, etc.
Mhm.
So in Philadelphia is a really horse culture out here that I did not know. So
Yeah.
I don't know what the movie with Idris Elba is, but it actually talks about the horse culture here in Philadelphia.
Nice. That's interesting. I mean,
Hmm.
because I
Yeah.
realize a lot of people wouldn't really expect there to be like a huge culture scene of horses in like the big city. Now, out here, we do have many parts of town that have like a lot of barns and a lot of ranches, and they
All
do
right.
have a lot of horses, especially the one I go to a lot. And so the horse culture out here is quite prevalent if you really think about it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
I would like to go to the West Coast one of these days just to see the horses and maybe wine country also.
Well, you can
um,
for sure meet Cooper, the
mhm,
one that you guys have been seeing on my community tabs,
yeah.
Yeah.
Appaloosa. But hey, Jose, you want to know what I will say, Jose? I like how you have your hat, Don has his hat, and I have mine. You can call us the Hat Trio, right? So, Jose, are we the Hat
Yeah.
Trio now?
I guess so.
Yeah.
Speaking of the West Coast, I'm going to be in San Diego in 2 weeks.
Nice. You'll be about a
Nice.
good 5 hours from me. Maybe more like 6.5, though, depending if I'm like in southeast Utah or you're in southern Nevada. Either way.
Right.
Yeah. So it's really more of a business trip, but it's good to go to the West Coast. I just hope there's not a lot of turbulence on the flight because I think the flight's going to be like 5 or 6 hours.
Right. About a good 4.5 to 5 hour flight from NYC to like LA or San Francisco or even Vegas. Depends.
Hmm. Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. I got a question.
Sure.
Ask
And
away.
all right. So what? So okay. So what made you decide to move to Vegas as of you living in California?
So it's a very it's a very long story, but I can at least try to be brief with the summary as to how I landed out in Southern Nevada. So back in 2018, I was with my ex fiance at the time, and so hey, she was not really happy with the high cost of living in California. She didn't really like how we had to pay an insane amount of state taxes, and then also her mother recommended that she move out to Las Vegas. So she went out there, but she, of course, beat me here. So we were long distance for like a while. And then I ultimately put in the initiative to relocate out here. And so that's pretty much how I got my story started. But then obviously, as you guys already know, we didn't really work out, but I still chose to stay and build an empire from here. And that is a business. Found Jesus out here. And now it's a honor to work as a certified reading instructor for our beautiful kids.
Amen.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
So
Yeah.
I see that things tend to go up and crazy sometimes in these YouTube streets.
Very much so, to where it's unfortunate that a couple of our girls had to deactivate their pages still. But then I told Gigi that, hey, us three here have your back.
Exactly.
Definitely.
And to me, I don't care what anybody says, because in my as I guess in my personal struggles or people exposing me and whatsoever, which funny because you know what, I'm just gonna say this as
Speak
far
away.
as as far as anything. If you see two people as friends, right,
Mm-hmm.
and a person goes off on a tangent of doxing and doing anything and everything. What I've done for a year right now, I haven't gone to a certain page, and
Mm-hmm.
I could actually say that I found a certain peace level with that. So you're not going to actually see me in that certain platform in the future, because at the end of the day, I'm like, I told my truth, got ridiculed for it, and now you have certain idiots that are trying to use my past against me, which is not working. And I just can't wait until the DNA test. So I'm gonna actually get this week. But when I every time that they actually have the low price and everything like that, I always have something else to do. But this week I'm just actually gonna get it done.
I'm very proud of you for that, bro. Or should I say in Spanish, so estoy muy orgulloso de ti. So,
But
Exactly.
but
so
yeah, sorry. But something, guys. There's certain individuals. Either you love them or you hate them. There is no in between. And it's just that there are certain individuals that, for whatever reason, they have a hate relationship. But it is what it is. The ladies are always are more than welcome on my platform. I don't banish people unless they totally deserve it. And really, there's only two individuals that have been permanently banned from
On
my
your
platform.
platform.
Okay, but no, not arbitrarily, but because of their conduct.
Right. Well,
yeah,
in
that's true.
hindsight, in hindsight, it looks like that a certain content creator is going against how should I say? I don't know. I don't know if I should use the word enemies, or I should say the word detractors or anything. But apparently, what our detractors are actually trying to do to all of us, that person, depending on the relationship that you have with that person, is actually saying that they're going to go after them, because they're tired of their shenanigans or whatsoever, and the false narrative that they have placated against them. So I'm like, wow, it's going to be crazy. I could guarantee you that.
Yeah, but I'm just really glad that I'm just a bit calm, cool, and collected about it, because it's just my way of saying that you pretty much just lost. So I'm just going to sit here and chillax and just pretty
And just
much
have
give you
and
to
just
your own
look,
device. You know?
and just get the popcorn popping.
Like, did you remember seeing like my video that I made, I think back in January, where I was just playing that song by the Allman Brothers, Midnight Star, where I'm just eating the popcorn and then I
Yep.
offer it? That's pretty much it,
Yeah.
though. That's pretty much how I'm going to roll, though. Is just because the half truths didn't work, the slander didn't work, uh, falsified reports that didn't really work, and just all like the talking and the mess that didn't really work, because that's just a person exposing the condition of their own spirit which is pretty rotten, you know. So that's just where, you know, you got to pray at them, love them from a distance, and just pray for their deliverance, because we were lost. I was very lost. And since I had the potential to, you know, get delivered, they too have potential to get delivered too. But the question is, they have to want it. They
Yeah, to me,
won't,
yeah,
because
to
it's,
me, it's like, mhm.
yeah. No, go on.
I mean, me personally, I'm not gonna. I'm working on myself because there's certain traits that I've actually had, and I recently just had heard the sad news that I lost a friend of mine's that, and it's like, okay, I don't know what's happening because there was a person that I had a disagreement with, but I always told him like, yo, I respect you and everything like that. He turned out to pass away this year. Um, a cousin of mine that you've seen like on my other social media posts, he passed away at the young age of 27, and and now I'm just here. I'm went up and I just posted a picture. I'm like, I didn't know what was going on, and then I just got word that my other friend that that I could actually say we actually talked about the Lord about the Lord Jesus Christ also because his mother was a pastor. So he's it was told to me that they found him that he passed away. So it's like I don't know the details of too much. So it's just crazy.
That is, man. And, you know, like, hey, I'm really sorry about, you know, like your loss. So, and then plus, it's just crazy that he even lost his life before he even turned 30.
Yeah.
Yeah, I you have my sympathies for your losses as well. But one thing, it's just that life is so short. You just try to focus on things that are positive, and those who are negative, you just have to learn how to distance yourself. And
Yeah.
one thing when I decided to become a YouTube creator, there's certain rules and guidelines which I follow. Okay, one of them, please do not bring your beeps to my platform. I mean, that's if you have a platform, you can go on and discuss nonsense regarding your beeps regarding whomever. Number one. Number two, I don't censor, but I do expect people to be mutually respectable. And
Right.
if and if you're unable to comply with my requests in my cyber home, you don't
Right.
need to be in my cyber home. It is that simple.
True.
Yeah. I mean, me personally, whenever I have my platform and anything, people could talk about whatever the case may be. But guess what? If I got a beef with you, I'm not going to mention your name because you're not that relevant. Second of all, on the most part, you have certain people who are actually threatened by who I have a friendship with. So therefore, this is one thing that always make me curious. If you don't support me or you're against me, right? What does the value of me having a friendship with somebody that you don't like either? I mean, at the end of the day, people that actually have a mutual dislike, or in other cases, you just like two people, but then you'll get mad when they get together. Nine times out of ten, we're not even talking about y'all. We're just talking about what's going on in our daily lives and everything. So if a person feels threatened of just two ordinary people talking about their daily lives and everything like that, I don't know what to say. And I'm just gonna keep pushing.
Same here, though. And like, we already know that even you guys, you two gentlemen, have already been approached by somebody who was telling me to banish me from your platforms. But then I even had like multiple other people tell me that, oh, the person was saying the same thing, so on and so forth. When people do that kind of stuff, it's actually revealing a lot more about their character, not so much about the person that they happen to have like a serious grudge against. Because like it's people have done that to me, and usually a person who's telling me that, oh, I gotta warn you, you tend to have like a lot of emotional dysregulation going on and just some serious, personal beef that you need to resolve with that other person though, because right now you're creeping into gossip land and we can see
Right.
how people reap the natural consequences for that. Like one of this person, she abandoned her whole page, and then I have somebody else who's doing something else, and so on and so forth. So it's just a matter of reaping what you sow. Like I've had to big time. I definitely did. I definitely screwed up big time, and I had to pay the price for that. But thing is that I'm man enough to do that though. But the question is, does everybody else have the manpower to own up? Because if you're just going to
I'm,
just walk away, or you're going to just like leave your whole page hanging, or you're going to shut your page down, okay, perhaps maybe some people you take ownership or follow their own advice of saying take accountability, right? Because I remember those
right.
words. So I agree. I do need to take accountability for that. But are you going to transfer that advice back to you?
Sure. I mean, if you actually look at it, you have certain content creators that are not going to take accountability for anything or anything nefarious, right?
Yeah.
So my thing is this, right? For people that don't want to take accountability for whatsoever or whatever, certain people they wonder how I'm friends with a certain individual or whatsoever. I'm like, okay, well, let's see. Instead of certain people going to offensive and trying to call the person out, whether they have a mental problem or anything like that, at the end of the day, I actually use their own philosophy that we're all people, right?
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna go, one thing that I've seen, and I could actually say that I've seen this, and I never really tried to do this, is the story of my ex, right? My ex, she went up and she was the type that to try to make fun of people who had like developmental disorders and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And then years later, she started actually having psychological episodes, etc. So therefore, I could actually say that you have to be careful on who you make fun of because 9 times out of 10, in some way, shape, or form, it could actually come back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, the thing is that also people are watching you though, and they're watching how you treat others though. So that's why, like I said, yeah, I agree. Take accountability, but just be sure that you can also follow your own advice too. Otherwise,
exactly.
your words are pretty empty.
Mute.
And that's why me and Gigi became friends again because we talked privately, we had a serious conversation, and she took ownership. And then plus, just on the recent stream, she even said that hey, she's been a part of. Well, I really don't want to swear, but she's been a part of the S show, as you
Right.
know what I mean. So she's clearly not making excuses for that, though, and we already know it's the difference between somebody who's just making up excuses, keep on making excuses for why they do that, and somebody who is no longer justifying their excuses. Because Gigi, she's not justifying her excuses anymore, and she hasn't for a good time now.
I mean,
Um,
me. I mean, yeah.
I've spoken to Gigi offline several times, and one thing I do, and I made notation, not just privately, but also, you know, on this platform, that I have seen the change in her conduct and a level of maturity and taking responsibility for her actions. Okay, and I commend anyone that's willing to take accountability for their actions and take the appropriate actions necessary to change their conduct.
Yeah, because if Gigi hadn't done that, then me and her wouldn't be friends. I wouldn't be talking to her at
Right.
all. nor would I
Right,
leave the comment saying that I'm glad that you're doing fine. I would not have.
right. I mean, me personally, there's certain people I would not actually involve myself to be friends with in the beginning because, as you know, everybody know who I got beef with. And then secondly, just because I'm friends with a certain content creator, which a lot of people do not get along with, they
Yeah,
want to actually put me in the mix because at the end of the day, if a person feels comfortable on our platform, I'm going to keep having them in their platform. But to me, this is one thing that I do not like. I do not like bullying, right? One thing I do not like is like, okay, if I'm your friend Jojo, right?
yeah,
And then somebody feels threatened that they don't like you, but yet they want to come after me over a fake reason, which is, oh, you did this to me, or you're harassing the person. Okay, so let's put it like this: I never had any interactions with you, and I blocked you on social media, right? So
mhm,
therefore, what is the reason why you're so determined to try to destroy what I'm trying to say with lies, after slander, and everything like that? So I'm just taking it as a grain of salt, as the most fact that my message is actually going around to certain people that do not like it. So therefore, I'm just gonna keep doing what I'm doing, and me, we might make fun of certain people and everything like that, but we're not actually maliciously going against people and everything like that because at the end of the day, it does not matter. But yet you have certain content creators who are mad because of whatsoever, or they want to talk a preconceived notion of me just because of the way I talk and everything, that I'm not of a certain ethnicity. If you're gonna go and try to do that and you find out info and then you still want to present a fake narrative, I have nothing for you. I'm not gonna support you. So therefore you could go around and with your threats and everything like that, but it's not gonna work. I'm gonna stand tall. I'm just gonna protect my brand or whatever have you, and I'm still gonna keep pushing. And I'm not stopping. I haven't stopped ever since I got doxxed. So therefore, I might be slower than what I used to because I'm getting certain things in order. But
exactly.
as far as anything, I'm not stopping for nobody because at the end of the day, I know that I have to keep pushing.
That's true. Yeah. And just also be careful with like a lot of those people though, because they're only going to make a half truth. And you've already saw where I made a post on Facebook about people spreading even a half truth. Because even if you're spreading a half truth, you're still telling me that you lack common sense and you lack integrity to be able to tell the full blown truth. It's very deceptive. So you're that person who's coming to me saying, don't do this, don't do this. I'm warning you, he's doing this to me. I'm going to look at you first before I look at the other person because, first of all, the other person is not doing exactly what you're saying here. You're just trying to hype everything up, though, so that you could get what you want. Can't do that. Can't use deceptive tactics like that or manipulation tactics to get what you want because now you're telling
You
me
know,
you're
if
just
I'm gonna
a liar.
if I'm gonna yeah, if I'm gonna go around and tell somebody to warn somebody, I'm like, okay, this is what happened to me and this, that, and the third. I'm gonna actually try to spread honesty and everything like that because at the end of the day, if you ain't honest, if you want to go spit a half truth, then you might have a person fighting a war that they think that is happening when the fact is that war may not even had you to be may not even involve you in the beginning, to tell you the truth.
True. And you already notice how when a person is doing that to you, you notice how they end up letting you go because they didn't get what they want. And as soon as the person doesn't get what they want, they drop you like bugs.
Yep.
And
Yeah,
you two gentlemen have faced that. You too, Jose.
yeah, that's true because when I was approached to have you banned from my platform, first I requested receipts because I'm not going to base anything based on someone's word, particularly someone that I have had previous issues with in the past. So I just simply asked this individual, produce your receipts. None were given.
Mm-hmm.
So, so
because I
that was,
wasn't doing that. That's why the claims cannot be substantiated. Though I don't do all that creepy stuff. I know some folks who do, as we already
Yeah.
know, but
Yep.
to make somebody out to be like a creepy stalker, stalking, or having persecutory delusions like that, no,
I
no.
mean, I
Because
mean,
if that were
I
the
mean,
case, you can actually legally make a legal claim for like harassment and stalking because there's a way to do that though too because I tried doing that. So if anybody feels that they really are getting stalked like that, what's stopping you from taking them to court? Because if you don't do that, you're not taking the initiative or being proactive. Everything that you say is very questionable. Just saying.
right.
but in getting to the point where sharing a platform with someone I have had previous issues with, I have the maturity to be on the same platform. The one thing I do insist that the hosts do is make sure that all parties involved be mutually respectable with each other. Okay, that's all I request. And if that's not possible, then I will have to vacate myself because I am not going to be on a platform where one individual is being disrespectful and the host is not regulating what the other person in the panel is doing. That's what it has happened. It has happened before, where in okay, I'm not going to mention names, but there was one content creator. Um, there was someone on the panel of which I have had issues with, but I was willing to coexist as long as we were both mutually respectable. And then unfortunately, this individual took it upon oneself to start speaking the beefs, and I requested that not be discussed. First of all, because this was not the appropriate platform to discuss it. If you really wanted to have a serious discussion, it could be done either offline or you could be done with a third party um, person partner. This person declined my request, so therefore I was put in the situation to try to explain my side of the situation, of which I was immediately removed from the panel.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, I know who you're talking about, and it was like on that content creators Discord. It was like, okay, I'm on a Discord, right?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And there's somebody that I'm not even talking to or don't want to talk to because it shows that they have um maleficent intentions, right? So I don't want to even be around this person. So they was like, "Oh, how come you're not around this person?" I'm like, "Cause that person's a dirtbag." Which I'm just being respectful right here. So that person's a dirtbag. I don't want to be around them. They show them that they have dirtbag tendencies. Why should I want to be around them? They're like, "Oh, this, that, and the third. I didn't know you." I'm like, "No." I'm like, "You want to hit me up 3 times." Just because I'm not really in your platform. But then after that, I just run up and I just left because at the end of the day, I'm not going to be around and I'm not going to see a person's content which I know that is pure negativity and pure crap. So I'm not going to go and surround myself with that. So after that, and then that content creator that's trying to tell me or whatever whatever problem that they have with Georgia or whatsoever. And to me, I actually find it unfounded because I'm going to be honest. The way that Georgia and me linked up, like when it was radical and everything like that, one thing that I've actually said about Georgia and everything is that you actually came with me with respect. You know what I'm saying? And even though it was like okay, Telegram and everything like that, I do like my trolling and stuff like that on Telegram, but it's not like to the point that I want to actually find out what a person is because At the end of the day, I was just on Telegram. I don't really know who anybody is. And I don't really have any bad intentions with anybody is because at the end of the day, it's just a debate. Certain
Yeah.
people that want to take it out of the debate or whatsoever, like they want to go and say, "Oh, I want to get you" and all this stuff. I'm like, for what? Just because you lost a debate or something? And to me, I don't respect that at all because it actually shows that the person lacks maturity. And then when it's like offline, when a man is trying to get with a female and gets rejected because of of a picture that they sent or whatsoever, then they want to go with the narrative. Oh, okay, since I got your information, I'm going to adopt you too. That actually happened to a female friend of mine's. So it goes to show you the lack of maturity that certain people have, and they want to try to say that they make a lot more money. Okay, so what is money, right? Let's be honest. What is money? Well, the fact is, you could talk about how much you got and everything like that. So one thing that I've actually seen, and this is actually within the Latino and Black communities, right? Both of us, depending on who you are and everything like that, we don't really have that much successful dynasties when it comes to money, business, empires, whatsoever, right?
Right.
So what is it to you? So what is it that you're gonna go and try to brag? Oh, I got so much money and everything like that. Well, the fact is, you don't even have an empire, but yet you bragging to me about how much money you make. Like I'm in the business of just trying to at least establish an empire. I might do it small, but I know that I'm not going to go around and be cheating and robbing anybody. So it is what it is. And
Hmm.
like other people, and like other people in the business that I wanted to get into when I was like in my 20s, they actually you might have this, that, and the third. And then when you actually looking back, I'm like, I'm glad I didn't go and sign a contract, and I'm glad that I didn't go around and let go of my morals. So therefore, I guess I'm the lucky ones. I guess.
Hmm. One thing, it's a few things that I had to like learn when I became a content creator is first of all, there's going to be people that are going to be hating. They're gonna either gonna hate you because of your content, or they're gonna hate you because of the people that you choose to hang with. Okay. So also one of the things I also learned is to try to stay in my lane as much as I can. Now, at times I'll talk about different topics and things like that, and sometimes I will experiment as far as topics are concerned. But for the most part, I stay in my lane, and I don't get involved with other people's beef because basically, it can get very messy very quickly. I mean,
Right.
I've seen one. I made one observation, which wasn't really even a harsh criticism. How one individual went overboard.
hmm
Right.
But it's
But go ahead.
hey, but it's funny that I've heard that my name's been mentioned. All right, woohoo! I guess I'm famous.
Hey, Irby.
Hey, baby.
Going on, Irby. Carry on, guys.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So, I cannot control what other people say or do about me. What I can control is how I'm gonna react.
Well, I hardly ever have any live streams still, but let's just say if there were a couple folks who came onto my live stream to basically, feud out their drama, both of them are going to end up getting muted. I am going to say that. I'm like, no, guys, can't invite that kind of bad energy to my page.
Hmm.
Mm-mm. It's not
Exactly. It's
because
like
Like I said, all I'm just sensing now is just a bunch of emotional dysregulation on both of your sides. So you two, get out.
Right.
Hmm.
And then which is funny, right? Like I wasn't even gonna become a content creator. I was just a spectator. But then after a while I was like, you know what? Since what I want is not gonna be in another person's platform, I just went up and I created my own. So
Right.
I just be on my own. I just be on my own and everything like that. You have
Hmm.
certain people that do, the haters that do watch it, and they would tell me, "Oh, so you let that person ramble on and everything." I'm like, "Hey, it's my platform, not yours. So I could do whatever I want."
Yeah,
Hmm.
because nobody can police what you do.
Yeah.
Thank you. And even the people that actually try to police what you're doing ain't working.
Yeah.
Hmm.
It's hilarious, like when people say that, like you're trying to make yourself relevant on here, but that's pretty much what I think everybody on here is trying to do, though, because if you are a content creator, though, then you for sure are working for some level of relevance on here, regardless of what your content is going to be based around. But definitely, if it's based around like beef that you have with somebody else, and you definitely are trying to stay relevant in some capacity.
Hmm. Well,
Yep.
one thing, like I said, look, this is how I see it. I mean, I'm just trying to produce content which hopefully people will get enjoyment and knowledge. Okay, I am not here to try to create beefs. I am not here to create red extremes. I'm just trying to produce content. Some of it is funny, some of it is serious, some of it is no, is regarding serious discussions. And sometimes some of those discussions is being taken place because no one is talking about it. I mean, really, how many people have talked about mental health issues? Not many. How many dealt with some of these, some of the things that's been happening here in, politics? Not a lot. So I'm just filling a niche. And earlier today, I actually saw Cynthia G. She's back on these YouTube streets.
Oh,
Uh,
interesting.
well, uh, I mean, me, I don't really subscribe to Cynthia's comments or her commentary whatsoever. But one thing that when I actually presented to another YouTube colleague that I actually talked to, his name is shout out to JD Miles of the MGTOWs. One thing that we've actually seen, which I could say as a man that I'm against, that one of her commentators or haters went up and said something akin to something inappropriate about Cynthia G's daughter. So my thing is that how as a man you could actually make that comment, but when the fact is you're just actually showing yourself that you're not a protector of anybody, but yet you're saying something that blur the lines that could actually get you how should I say, well, I'm just going to say law enforcement actually coming down your door just for saying the inappropriate comments about Cynthia G's daughter. And even though it happened 2 years ago, it just has the rate of people who actually has a lot of hate for that one. Now I don't know what her commentary is, and certain people might call her a divester or a hypocrite or whatsoever. I mean, me personally, I do not know what her content's really about. Only watched it once, but then I forgot about it. But for anybody to actually bestow that type of hate towards a content creator and their daughter is actually is actually to me disgusting.
Yeah, true.
Well,
Because nobody
I've heard.
even knows who her
Like,
daughter is. So, like, who is her daughter? I don't know her daughter, and I didn't even know that she had kids.
Right.
yeah. Well, um, I'm going to say this. Of course, she has a right to air whatever content that she wishes. The problem is, it's it. well, she has a reputation of saying everything negative regarding African American males, wishing to gone to the point wishing that they've been deleted prior to birth. Okay, of course she's entitled, and her channel's been taken down several times because of the nature of her content.
Yeah,
Uh,
the
I do
anti-black
think
male stuff, but yeah.
I do think she's very hypocritical because she's talking about staying away from African American men when the one that got her pregnant was a so-called Dusty. But that was her choice. And again, she's free to air with her content. She's free to say whatever she wants, as long as she abides with the guidelines of YouTube. And if not, then her channel will be deleted again.
Right.
I've never watched any of her videos, so all I'm just, going off of is word of mouth about her.
Well, I actually saw one of her videos today.
I mean, I remember that. I remember that when she had an argument with the fellow Dominican content creator, and it was, and I could say it was funny on both ends because it was like, okay, that was like the first and the last I've seen it, and, and the way that they went off of each other, I was like, dang, this is pure comedy. And I'm like, dang. I was just laughing at both ends. So when I actually saw that, I was like, okay. I was like, dang, that's real funny because I'm like, wow.
Hmm. No, but okay. Well, basically, she was talking about how most of the um, households in that African American community are headed by single moms, and how the reason why they're not in the household because they were told for public assistance, that they could not stay in the home if the mother was trying to get assistance from the government. So it's basically, it's basically another premise of black men are not dependable, black men are not reliable, black men don't stay with it, fulfill responsibilities. I mean, look, I mean, again, you're free to say whatever you wish, and you're free to air, to discuss and share whatever narrative that you wish. But just be mindful if you go against the guidelines, it will be deleted. Your channel will be deleted again.
I
Yeah,
mean, this.
that's
This is one thing I actually don't see, right? And I see this within. And me, of course I'm not African American. I'm Afro Latino.
Hmm.
So one thing that I've seen is like I hear a lot of criticizing and a lot of people who were saying, oh yeah, you're supposed to do this or anything like that. People are not actually looking at the root cause of the problem, right?
Hmm.
So let's put it like this. This is two men who actually that unluckily been incarcerated and then they don't know better or anything like that.
Hmm.
Let's put it like this. Imagine a person that fundamentally did not have anything, no support or anything like that, right? And
Hmm.
then you have certain individuals incarcerated for a certain amount of years, and they don't know nothing. They don't know about how to maintain their finances, how to actually how to actually fix a house or anything like that because they didn't have the proper training or anything. So a person that grows into that have grown in alternate circumstances, whether it be a bad home or whatsoever or anything like that, and then they don't know because that's what they know all their life. Instead of going around and trying to go around have your critiques about, oh, they should know how to do this, they should know how to do that. Why don't you go in and see and actually have a psychological evaluation of these individuals, and then try to come out and help them to be better persons or whatsoever. And to me, one thing that I've actually seen is that if you actually look at European countries, the model that the United States is trying to model of, how come when it comes to like Norway or some of these places, you don't see a lot of creepy, cruddy, um, how should I say, jail systems and everything like that, where you have a whole bunch of people fighting and all this one and all this other stuff, and you actually see certain people who are being rehabilitated, and they can actually be a certain um a certain fixture in society and stuff. But then they're like, oh yeah, prison needs to be rough in the United States, and then whatsoever. But yeah, you get like the same type of crimes, and then have you. We have like the same certain type of reasons. And then if you actually look at all communities when it comes to the United States, we have like no sense of ownership because partly because of that, you have certain people who actually instill like self hatred within their communities.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. And another problem we have here is, of course, we have individuals creating post narratives. And all I can say is this: if you're going to believe in the false narratives, there's really no reason to have a discussion.
And no reason to be on my platform, period, if you're going to believe a false narrative of me. Like, for example, I'm not going to go around and say the content creator's name, right? So apparently, a person went up and commented on my platform, talking about certain stuff and everything like that. So me and that person, we had like a respectful discourse and stuff. But it turns out that if you're gonna go around and believe something bad about me and everything like that, okay, well, guess what? I blocked you too, because I see certain comments and I'm not stupid. So I'm not. If that person ever tried to come to my platform or on my stream, no, I'm blocking them. That's automatically because I don't want to have no. I'm having my platform, and my platform is going to be drama free. Now, if a person wants to bring drama and everything like that, I'm just going to go take the high road, like other people have done. And I don't care about how many subscribers I get or anything, but I'm going to go and push for mine until I actually get what I need. And then if I get what I need and everything like that, I'll try to actually branch out in other avenues, and helping people and such. So therefore, what my thing is, whether it be the martial arts or the urban movement in the Dominican Republic, I'm trying to, or in Latin America in general, I'm trying to promote that because at the end of the day, what people don't understand is that certain people need information. And then there's a lot of information that's out there, but I want to try to at least be informed of myself, and so I could actually tell certain people that information also.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Well,
I
guys, I
mean,
need to head off for a little bit, but it was great talking.
It was great talking to you too.
yeah, great talking to you.
Likewise.
Just to let you guys know, tomorrow I'm going to be doing a stream regarding why I don't observe Halloween.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Yeah.
I'll be looking forward to it too. Yeah, talking about Halloween. Talking about Halloween, one thing I could actually say is that I don't. Okay, when I was a kid, I didn't know better, so yeah, I celebrated it. I went with my aunt, like, you know, to the mall, and they used to give out candies and stuff. And when I came to New York in my teenage years, I went up and some of my homies, certain people, they just went and they just had egg fights or whatsoever. So that was the thing is. But now, I mean, ever since I grown up, there's like I should say a bloody thing to it because when I was actually living in Jersey, right,
Mm-hmm.
and they went up and they sent mass texts to people. So when I was living in Jersey, I was living with my ex at the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I was living with my ex at the time, I actually told her, I was like, okay, you're not leaving the house because I know that because there was a guy who was of street organization that might have been doing this. So therefore, me that person was like, oh, this that and the third, like no woman's gonna go out because this that and the thirds are gonna happen. They'll be like, the initiation was that 30 women either needed to be cut across the face, SA'd, or shot. That was the part of the initiation of the 31st of October. I'm not going to go and say the street organization's name, so it had to actually happen like it actually had to happen like around 2008
Mm-hmm.
in Jersey. So when I actually went up and I talked to the person who was of that street organization, he said, "Oh yeah, yeah, that happened because I saw a lady that that she got shot in the head and everything." I was like, "Wow." Boom, pew pewed in the head. I was like, wow. So it was like, so what was sent in the text, it actually happened. So I was like, thank goodness that I didn't go out that day because that was that street organizations or what they were texting. Another thing which I've heard about another street organization which I'm not going to name is that they'll actually go and they'll actually hit a person with their tail lights or whatsoever. And if that person put their tail lights on and stuff like that, as far as having a car, they will be unalived by pew pew or whatever. So that's why that's why with all that is saying and everything, that I would not celebrate Halloween because of one the street organizations, and two what I found out what it really means as far as people having their other beliefs, which is not of Christianity. So I'm not going to actually celebrate that, nor my wife either. I mean, my wife never really celebrated it to begin with, to tell you the truth.
Well, look, the fact of the matter is the origin of many of the customs are pagan. Okay. First of all, the whole idea of trick or treating that comes from the custom of offering foods to the spirits so they don't come and haunt them and do harm to them. Also, for those that are into witchcraft, it is their holiday. Um, and also the idea that you're wearing a mask. So basically, who else tried to disguise themselves but the father of lies? So these are some of the reasons why I don't observe Halloween, or as I call it, Satan glorification day.
Got you.
Now I'm sure I'm gonna have some people that are gonna come to my platform and saying, "Why make it a big deal over a harmless holiday?" If you take a look at some of the meaning behind it, it is not as harmful as it be. And plus, unfortunately, we do have sick people that try to put foreign matter in candy. Um, so, which is why if you're going to observe if you're going to observe it, that pay very close attention. First of all, parents do not allow their children to go trick or treating unescorted. Go with an adult. Number one. Number two, do not allow them to eat any candy until they get home, so they can and then observe and see, you know, if the candy look like it's been, someone put stuff in it, just discard it. You're better off not observing Halloween.
Yeah. And then just recently, shout out the to the memory of the young rapper CJ Willa. One thing one thing which I'm seeing is actually crazy is that I'm seeing a lot of these young men. you know, losing their lives and everything like that. So, it's crazy.
Hmm. Yeah. I mean, look, and I know sometimes people will observe like autumn festivals or fall festivals. If you're going to change the name simply so you can go ahead and wear costumes, whatever, I mean, you might as well be truthful and just simply say you're observing Halloween. But let me make this perfectly clear. If you wish to observe it, I'm not going to pass judgment if you do. It's just that uh, I just decided not to observe Halloween, or as I call it, Satan Glorification Day. And it looks like Don Armando has some this situation where there's music in the background. So yes, he mute himself in order to avoid getting um, a community strike. But
Exactly.
yeah, so I'll be talking about that. And like I said before, uh, I'm not passing judgment on those who decided to observe Halloween. It's totally up to you. But I am not going to observe it. And if I had children, they
Yeah.
would observe it either.
Right.
So I'm going to hop down. First of all, thank you very much for allowing me on the platform. And of course, I would like
Anytime.
those who are watching from the clouds. If you have not done so, please subscribe to the channel and set the bell notification to all. So therefore, whenever Don Armando does produce content, you'll have the opportunity to catch it live, catch it on the playback. So I just want to say thank you and have a good night, all.
Anytime.
Take care. Bye.
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 You're all right?
Yeah, it's just that my computer is a little slow and I'm trying to get out. Uh,
All right.
I may have to just log off completely.
I got you.
Well, good night, all.
Yeah. So it was a good stream tonight. It was a little bit of impromptu. Check out Wednesday. We're gonna try to make something special for anybody who's with the martial arts and such. So check it out. Peace.